Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. This is your match reaction. Porto 3, Manchester United 3. Last gasp winner from Manchester United. Spared their blushes, to be quite honest with you. Again, it's a really weird one to try and dissect and to try and understand what in the name of Jesus happened there again, from being 2-0 up to 2-2 to 3-2 down, and then eventually getting I'm going to step back and let the boys have a go at this one. We've got Chris, Desi, and Ben in. Please do smash a like on the video, as always, guys. If you haven't done so, do hit that subscribe button as well. Helps the channel out an awful lot, as you know. Chris, I'll go to you. You're on my direct left. Tell me what you thought. I mean, really, really positive start to the game. Rashford scoring, Garnacho or Highland scoring. And then it's United of old, really, isn't it? And it's just lackluster, heads go down. Can you make sense of it?
I mean, I don't like the midfield that he picked, to be honest with you. I mean, for me, it just says, hey, come run through the middle of the midfield, because between Bruno and Eriksen, it's just, I mean, they're not going to play defense. And I didn't see. I listened to the first half. I didn't see the first half. I was excited, scored early. 2-0 up, and was excited for a moment. Then all of a sudden, bang, bang, and I'm like, what just happened? Like I didn't see it, so I was just like, and I mean, I know that forward, that striker that they have, everybody wanted him and everything like that. He's a good player, but come on, like I didn't see the build up, so I can't really speak to it. But then, I mean. And Jack, you said it, like the whole game. It's just, and when I did get to watch second half, and I didn't get to see Rashford play, but as I heard it, he seemed to play well. But I'm just like, it's the same shit, different day. Like it's just like you said, same substitutes. No tactical changes. No trying to do anything different. We're just gonna play the way we're gonna play, and it's kind of like stingy football, and it's like, oh well, we're just going to keep doing it, it'll work. Well, apparently no, because everybody knows what we're going to do before we do it, so we get our ass handed to us. I mean, and that's what it is to me. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, I was a guy that says, hey, we got to give them some time, we got to do, we got to let, but I got to be honest with you, now I'm kind of like, no, we need a new manager bounce. We just need something, because we need someone, to be honest, and I was fighting it for the longest, but we need someone that's going to make tactical changes, like changing the way we play during the game. Like, we don't do that. Like, Garnacho is going to be on one wide area. Ahmad, whoever, we're going to play out wide, and we're going to try to cross the ball in for some reason, because we have no height. But, like, I just don't get it. I mean, I don't understand how he cannot make changes in the game. We have players to make changes. He just doesn't do it.
Yeah. Desi, give me your thoughts on it. Look, you've been critical of Ten Hag, and rightly so, after last weekend's game. What did you make of that?
Same shit, different game. It really is. You know what, Jack? I'll be straight honest. I'm just emotionally drained from watching them.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to stay as positive as I can, but how can you be positive when you're watching that week in, week out? You know what I mean? Some of the substitutions. It's just a real open game. Two bad sides, I think. Two bad sides, really open. Nobody really knowing what they're doing. And like, when we go 2-0 up, you're thinking we're in dreamland here. And do you know what? When we went 2-0 up, I actually thought, no, we might just need another one to be on the safe side. And like
that's the way United are though at the moment, Tessie. If we had got a third goal up, we probably would have gone, geez, we need a fourth here to make sure it is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just
Did they play through us, or I mean, I didn't see their two goals. So I mean,
I personally think that they were playing balls through our midfield too easily. I think there was one time where they played a 40-yard pass, and it took the three midfielders.
They were long balls, they were direct. Yeah. They were direct balls.
And like you're thinking, this shouldn't be happening, But back to Ten Hag. like the substitutions. Like, I thought, was Rashford injured or what is?
I
We
don't
won't
know.
know.
We haven't got confirmation of it.
No one said anything so far.
Well, I tell you
I
what,
pray to God he is.
because if he took him off, that's got big questions over it. I hope he's not injured because we'll need him for Sunday. He really looked like his old self, I thought, in the first half. Like,
yeah, he did.
You seen him going at the defender, Jack, like last week. That's what kind of we wanted him on Sunday against Spurs. That's what he was on about. There was a couple of occasions where he put his foot on the ball and he stopped. But if he just goes straight at the defender, that's what he's capable of doing.
Yeah. He seems to have a nice bit of confidence back about him, doesn't he?
Yeah, and like it's mad because I didn't think he looked like that on Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone did, to be honest with you.
No, he went after the defender a couple of times on Sunday, but then we just lost. I mean, we just the game got lost, and then everything just kind of fell apart at that point. I mean, there was a couple of times that he went after him, and
yeah. Do you think now that after that performance and now coming up against Villa on Sunday that I think he's treading on thin water. I really do.
I think he's gone.
I think he's snookered.
Yeah.
But Chris, do you think he's gone before the game on Villa against Villa, or I mean, if you're going to get rid of him, if Ineos have plans to get rid of Ten Hag, in or around the international break, why not just fucking do it now? You know what I mean? We know that the new manager bounce is a thing. If it is Van Nistelrooy for a game until we find a manager over the international break, or whatever the case may be, why not just do it now?
I don't think the new manager bounce would affect against.
Well, we would
Villa.
go from losing to drawing game. You know what I mean?
I think you want to save that bounce for when we actually win a game. And not, I mean, I think Villa. I mean, I'll be honest. I think Villa. I'm afraid. One of my good friends is a Villa fan, and I'm afraid of the game on Sunday. I am afraid of the game on Sunday because watching them play in the Champions League, I was just watching them play Bayern. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be bad. Like, we might as well put every defender on. We park the bus, and hopefully they don't score. I mean, that's about the only thing we can do. But I think he's gone after Villa. I mean, I really do. Like today, I mean, the Rashford thing. Hopefully, I mean, I don't want to say hopefully he got injured, but if there is an injury problem that for the reason why he subbed him off, okay, that's fine. But at the same time, that's not a good thing because again, we're getting injured again. But at the same time, but you look at it and I go, I think after Villa they have to do something because I understand that you have to give a manager time and you need you want to have everything. But my problem and I've been fighting this and now I just can't fight it anymore. He doesn't make tactical changes. He doesn't change the game with his tactics. You can have a manager that just subs people on. Shit, you could get an assistant to do that and just make the same subs and play the same way. But you got to be able to, at this level, I would think that, hey, we're going to make a change and we're going to play a different way because we're playing this. We're going to play this team, or we need to play a different way to maximize Xerxes, or we need to do something to maximize the players that we have. We don't do it. There's no tactical about it.
You know, I do wonder sometimes, Jack. I did wonder sometimes, does he actually, like, even in the build-up to this game, do they, like, we're never going to know, but does he actually sit down and watch a video of the other team and try and find their weaknesses and try and explain to the players then of what sort of areas we want to be playing the ball into and where we need to be?
Yeah.
And that's what Chris says there about in-game changing tactics and all. He doesn't do it. And then it's like we're going to just stick to the same way, which then becomes a big problem. Other teams just know exactly how we're going to play. In the commentary, Robbie Savage said, United are just so easy to play against. Now, Robbie Savage was average at best, but I mean,
but the man in the street,
any half-decent player to see that any team that comes up against us, Jack, they just know what we're going to do.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say. The man in the street knows exactly how United are going to set up and how to counteract what we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, correct.
There's a way of losing, though, isn't there?
Yeah, Ben,
go on. If you're going to lose the game,
on it. Jump in there. Let me know what you think.
if you're going to lose a game, you lose a game trying, don't you? That game was screaming out for Xerxes and Hoyland to go up top. Ericsson should have been off the pitch for me. That would have been the change that I'd have made. We've not seen Xerxes and Hoyland play together. Two big lads up top. So,
what did you make of? What did you make of the defense? I mean, like, me personally, Ben, I thought the Ligt had a bit of a mare tonight. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Now,
I
again,
reckon,
look, I do know he's bedding in, and it's so on and so forth. So I'm not going to be overly critical of him, but yeah, I didn't think it was good.
I can see why I took him off. I just think it was at the wrong time.
Yeah,
You're chasing the game. You're bringing two defenders on. What are you on about?
Yeah, well, the big slabhead got the winner, but I don't think
our new number 9.
Yeah,
He's the new McTominay.
I don't think that was the intention out of Ten Hag. I don't know what he was thinking. Chris, I want to ask you about the substitutions, because they seem to be getting more and more baffling. And lads, I will get to your comments in the live chat as well. Keep getting them in there. I'll go through them. His substitutions seem to be getting more and more baffling as the games go on. Like, if we go down through the substitutions he made tonight, right? Let me get him up here. So, obviously, first and foremost, where are we? Where's the lineups there? So, he brings off Rashford for Garnacho. We still don't know what the reason for that was. If Rashford is not injured, then we have a seat. Now, I didn't see, which is a concern, I didn't see Rashford on the bench.
No, they didn't show him on. They didn't show him on the bench. They didn't show him pouting or mad or like it. Yeah, like after the substitution, you didn't hear Rashford's name again.
No, and there's two things for that for me. One is he's either injured and he stayed in for treatment, or two, he's had a fucking fallout with the manager over something in the dressing room at halftime.
Yeah, okay? Could be.
Now,
could be.
We're not going to speculate. We will hear eventually. He then brings on Joshua Zirkzee for Rasmus Højlund, and Joshua Zirkzee is a self-proclaimed 9.5 when we need to go and chase a game to win. Okay. He then brings on Anthony for Ahmad, and look, I don't think Ahmad was doing much in the game regardless. But what the fuck is Anthony going to do?
Fresh legs.
In all fairness, fresh legs is the best you can get from him.
That's the only thing I got with that.
And then you change the center defense.
The only thing I can think of, the reason why they changed the center of defense is just saving them for Sunday, giving them a rest at this point.
I personally think the reason behind that was we were 3-2 down, and he was thinking maybe, even though the Ligt is tall, he was probably out on his legs. He was chasing a lot of balls tonight. Bring on the two lads. If we get a corner or a free kick, and I genuinely did think that at the time, bigger men in the box that'll attack the ball. And
yeah.
And that's what I was thinking. Maybe it looks mental, but 3-2 down, we're down to 10 men. Well, I'll bring on two big centre backs, and if we get a free kick or a corner, they might just do the job.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is that we look at it, and you got to make the substitutions. He's doing things, and we're down to 10 men. So
yeah, they're reactionary.
Exactly, but I agree with Ben. Like, why not take Ericsson off, let Bruno sit back, or even if you want to, you take Bruno off and you take Ericsson off, you put Ugarte next to, let's say we have 11, because it's hard to do with 10, but let's say you take Bruno and Ericsson off, you put Ugarte in next to Casemiro, and you put Xerxes at the 10, and let him, and because the only thing I have, and again, I'm going to go back and watch this first half, is that if they're playing through the middle, it's the same problem we had last season and the season before, is because we don't have any midfielders. We don't have any holding midfielders to help the defense. We don't, because you can't just be wide open and expect De Ligt and Martinez to do everything. If there's no one in front of them, they're going to get had. I mean, it's just the way it goes. I just think the Anthony substitution is just legs. I'll be honest with you. At this moment, I mean, Xerxes is a good player, and maybe he'll turn into something, but he's not. I don't see how he's helping. I mean, I really don't, because when he's on the field, like when he does play, I mean, Spurs will take that aberration game, but even when he played before that, he's playing so deep that he's not ever in the box to be. I mean, and let's be honest, he's a little bit of a mule because he's not very fast.
Yeah.
So if he's playing so deep, he's not able to get back into the box to get a service. You know what I mean? Like, and to be honest, we're so it's the same shit every day. It's teams against us that play defense. All they got to do is sit there and sit on Rashford and say, "Go down to the touchline. I'm not going to let you cut in," because that's all we do. Ahmad does the same thing on the right side. He gets in, he tries to cut in. We try to go like this. And if teams just sit on the inside and make us go to the end line, what do? We do nothing. You know, and I go, and that's why I say there's got to be tactical changes where you got to be able to play a different way, you know, and we play too slow. Everybody's too slow with the ball. Yeah. Whether that's movement, lack of movement, you know, everybody's waiting. It's like everybody. We play watch and see football. Someone gets the ball and we watch and see what he does. Like it's terrible.
Yeah.
And
it's just little things like that, though, Chris.
What's that?
It's just little things like you've just said, though, there with the wingers. Why not change them for 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Why not just swap sides for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
The only
thing you don't need a manager instruction to do that either. You know what I mean?
No.
The wingers,
when do you see us going through the middle of a team?
Never.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Jack? We can't play through the middle. Like when they had in the first half, if you're going back to watch the first half, Chris, you'll see that when United were on the ball and we had possession, they played 5 across the middle, and our two midfielders would push on a little bit, and they'd be patient. We'd play it around, and if they won it back, it was then 3v2, 4v3, and they'd catch us on the counter. Whereas when we tried, like it was nearly a mid block. So when we go forward with the ball, when they're coming forward with the ball, then and we're trying to defend, we just seem to be all over the shop.
Yeah.
You know, there's no connection between anybody, or there's nobody looking over the shoulder to say, you're there, we're here, we know where we're going. Stay together. Let them go out left, right. Let them go back. We'll travel across with them. Like. They just play straight through the middle of us like we're non-existent. And we can't do that to other teams because they're just more compact and more understanding of what they're actually doing. This is what I was saying Sunday. We're just so dysfunctional at the minute.
My issue
like nobody knows what to do.
Yeah. My issue too is like, and we talk about how they, you know, our left side's been hurting. As the second half I watched, Deleu's not even playing out wide on the left until we get the ball in the attacking third, and then maybe he makes an overlap. He's literally playing like in the center of the park, like he's being sucked in, and so that when you do that, the left side's completely open. There's no one over there. It's all space, and it leaves us.
Well, if that is the case,
open.
then Chris, if that is the case, then you have an extra man in midfield and we're still getting played through the middle.
Yes.
How does that happen? A 40-yard pass in the second half took a whole midfield out of the game, and one of their players turned and he was straight at air defense. It just.
I honestly think it's a tactical problem because we play with, as we call, inverted wing backs, and they go in, and if you play that diagonal ball or that long ball over the top, they're gone. They're off to the races. We'll see you later. You know,
your man up top had the lick in his back pocket.
Yeah, he's a big fella. In fairness to him,
honestly, I think he does that to a lot of people, though. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah. Because I forget he was gonna leave Porto to go somewhere else I think it was Chelsea. He was supposed the medical fell through, and he ended up back in Spain, and then he got sent to Porto at that point. Yeah. I'll have to look it up, but he was on the move. He was on the move.
Yeah. Let me get down through some of these comments, guys. There's loads of people putting comments in. We'll scroll back a little bit and see what people are saying. Oshin says, "Are we done? I know I'm pessimistic at the best of times, but I'm fuming now. I'm done and probably won't watch Villa. We all know I really will. But Dylan says, we're playing Fenerbahce next. Jose will teach us a lesson. I didn't even realize that, to be honest with you. He'll be licking his chops watching that tonight, so he will. He won't stay to see the Jose game, says Oshin. Let's see. Colin says they'll sack him next Monday. Raymond says the low playing on the left is our biggest issue. Yeah, and I was mentioning that a lot in the first half. I think that left back area is a huge area of concern, to be honest. Let's see. We could park 2 buses and Villa will still score, says Oshin. Luke says, Jesus, don't I have to go from watching us to watching Ireland play ball against Finland? Yeah, I mean, like, at least, Ben, you get to watch England play. Like, we have to go now and watch fucking Ireland play international football at the end of this week. So,
who's that manager that England now?
What?
I'm watching a class game on Sunday. I told you last Sunday. It's on RTE, Jack. You'll be able to watch it.
Yeah. D says Ineos need to get Eric out tonight. Daryl says, lads, there's another massive talking point here as well as Ten Hag, and that's Bruno. He's no captain. 2 red cards in 2 games. That man is a effing joke. Right, well, Desi, you're shaking your head. I go to you. I mean, what is going on with Bruno Fernandes? Because, you know, now, look, I know maybe the emotion of tonight probably got to him a little bit more than normal. You know, he's a big rival of Porto, but he's not really showing captain material at the moment.
No, and you know what, Jack? At that particular point in the game, he knows. You said it when there's no point in shaking your head, Bruno, going off the pitch, because it was it was a stupid thing to do. He was never going to get the ball. He knew exactly when his foot went up over. It was up over his own shoulder. Never mind the other lad's shoulder, and it's a straight red. It's a stupid thing to do. We were starting to put the heat on them, and I honestly do think, Jack, we would have won the game had he stayed on the pitch at that particular point. It wouldn't have been a pretty game to win, but we would have won it. And we were starting to really pile the pressure on, and to do that as the captain of Manchester United, you know, he really needs to go home and look at himself in the mirror and consider what he's doing, because that was just the 2 games on the bench. Okay, Sunday wasn't a red card, but tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, Chris, give me your opinion on it. What do you make? Because he needs to get maybe the international break is going to come at a good time for him, but like he'll be straight into games with Portugal as well. Does he need a break, or is he, you know, like I said in the preview, you know, just play like as a player? I always found, even I'm nowhere near that level that they're playing at, I always found if I'm going through a tough spell, just play me and let me play myself out of this bad form. But what do you think?
I disagree with you on that. I mean, I'm not going to hold the Spurs thing against them because it shouldn't have been a red card. We all know that. But this one, like Desi said, unexcusable. There's no possible way he gets to that ball. I mean, let's just put it down to what it is. I think you need to see the bench. I mean, I really do. I think at this moment in time, he needs to understand you're hurting us more than you're helping us. And I'm sorry. And I'm like, maybe that means Eriksson can play. Maybe Xerxes can step in the 10 and everything like that. But I'm sorry, he needs to sit. I mean, he needs. I mean, you want to talk about disciplinarian with Ten Hag? This is the moment that you need to sit down and go. You're going to sit down for this reason and this reason only, is because you're making stupid mistakes. And honestly, I think with him, I say this in the nicest way. He's a player that will try to push himself to do the right thing, and him pushing himself to do that will get him in more trouble.
Yeah.
So I think he needs to sit down and just be and I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't play him against Villa. I'd sit him.
Not only that, he gave the ball away a couple of times on a couple of 4 or 5 yard passes, Jack. Yeah. And you're looking at him going, what the fuck is going on with this fella?
Yeah.
Like, they should be just second nature to him now at this stage. Like, simple little passes, and he's giving the ball away cheaply. I don't know what's going on there, but maybe there's something going on with him emotionally, Jack, that he's just exploding.
Maybe. Yeah, we don't know what's going on in the background, don't we not? But there's reports coming out across Twitter there that the dressing room door is still closed, and that was a minute and a half ago. Harry Maguire has come out to speak to the media, so they must be getting a bit of a rollicking in there, whatever it is. Ben, what did you make of Bruno Fernandes, and what would you do with him? Would you keep playing him? Would you bench him? You know, obviously there's only one game to go before the international break. Is it worth the risk or not?
I'd rest him. Just looking from Bruno's point of view, though, is he thinking in his head, I've got no competition, I'll walk into this team?
Yeah, maybe so.
Just like as he said, we all know different. Somebody else can play there. But is that Bruno's look on it?
Yeah, the
He was
fact
going to
that
take my spot.
as well, and so on and so forth.
I mean, I don't look forward to Sunday's game because Casemiro just played 90+ minutes. You really think he's going to play again 90+ minutes against Villa? That's going to be a problem. So then, I mean, Mason Mount's got stitches in his head. I guess he can't play with stitches in your head.
Like Wayne Rooney not wear fucking Silent to the Lamb's yoke on his forehead,
yes.
When he had stitches in his head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think they're on the back of his head as well. I mean,
exactly. And I'm like, maybe they messed up his hair. He can't be. Maybe he had to shave a little, and he didn't want to be seen like that. But I mean, I just think. I don't know what to make a Sunday because. I mean,
I'm looking for that bit of hair he shaved off him. I've none left.
But no, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think he needs to sit, and I think, and I echo Ben too. You don't just walk into this team. You want to be disciplinarian. You want to earn your spot and everything like that. I don't care if you're a captain or not. You're going to sit because in the things that he's done, even before the Spurs game and the way he's played and everything like that, it's warranted him taking a seat. We cry out for Rashford when he wasn't playing well. What do we say? Sit him. Yeah. Certain players, you're not playing well. Sit down for a minute. Hey, guess what, Bruno? You're not exempt from that. Sit down. I'm sorry. It's just, but I mean, I'll put 40% on the players. I'll put 60% on Ten Hag because the tactics are bad.
Well, now that you're saying it, I'm sorry. I'm listening to his press conference here, and he's saying that he said the equalizer at the end is good for spirit, and we showed good character to get back into the game.
I don't doubt that. I mean, that's not a bad thing to say. I mean, you don't want to dismiss it as the manager, but
it just seems now. I don't know. It just seems that every post-match press conference is the same, and his answers about how we played are the same, regardless of how we actually did play. Or is
but I agree with you, and I think that he's delusional to the point of this to his own problem of the player. And I read that he said the players just need to believe and not put their head down and believe in the process. Well, I mean, I played for a coach in college that he basically told you what to do with the ball, when to do it, and how to do it. And the other team knew what we were doing before we even did it. And we all sit there and go like this, I mean, and that's what I feel I see with United. And there's no creativity. There's no movement. There's no, I haven't seen Rashford or Garnacho cross. If you take the field lengthwise and they never cross, they don't go left to right to left. And the one time that we had, when we were all excited, and we were excited at the time, we had Rashford, Martial was healthy for once in his life, and Sancho, and they always started to play like this and they started to interchange. We were excited, and then we all know what happened, but it is what it is. But we don't see that anymore.
Do you know what? Do you know what annoys me when I see Ten Hag, right? And I know he's in enough trouble, but I seen Van Nistelrooy getting booked, and I was actually fucking delighted. I was he's out of his seat.
Yeah, go on.
Raptors conceding the second goal. He's out of his seat. He's giving it fucking you don't know what he was saying, but it wasn't nice anyway. And then he's giving it to the officials, and he's getting booked, and you're thinking, yes, this is what I want. Somebody, because it just seems, Jack, that you seen the other coach even, and I'm not saying that that's going to win us games either, but when you're a player on that pitch and you look over and your own coach is there or your own manager and you're after conceding the goal and he's fucking giving it to you, if you're at fault or if you're all at fault, you all pick yourselves up really quick because you don't want that for the rest of the match.
Yeah.
He just stands there and goes and puts another chewing gum in his mouth. Show some sort of fight. That's why I actually enjoy watching him. He gets out of his seat more times. You see him more in the square area than you see Ten Hag giving out shit.
I know. Let me get down through some of these comments here, see what the lads are saying. If I miss any, I do apologize, guys. It's heavy-handed tonight. Luke says, is Bruno more of a problem than we talk about? He controls attempts at points, slows the game down, and captain getting annoyed and moaning can reflect on the side he's not done well this season. Was Rashford injury? Again, I don't know, to be quite honest with you. While you're talking there, I was having a quick little scroll on Twitter here, and there's a lot of people saying that was Rashford taken off because he wasn't defending well enough in the first half. Now, if that's the fucking case, you're taking that off for not defending, but he gets a goal and an assist. Then now look, again, this is all speculation. I'm not getting dragged into, fucking Ten Hag is an idiot if he done that, because we don't know, you know what I mean? Again, look, Clarion says supposedly blamed for not tracking back. It's like Eric Ten Hag just woke up that Rashford doesn't track back. D says, Desi seen it in that goal, Masraoui, and not talking to De Ligt to let him know he's covering behind so De Ligt can step in front of his man and get the ball swung in. Yeah, it seems to me, just by watching that there does seem to be a lack of communication in it. Let's see, what else have we got? I thought we looked well in attack, says Ray, but I agree he needs to earn his way back into the team from the bench. Is Manu injured? I don't know. Darryl says throwing his hands up in the air and bitch all the time is an awful look for the captain of Manchester United. Let's see, we'll get some closer ones. D says Eric's took off our best player because he disagreed with him. Wait, no, someone is confirming something here. Let me see. Rashford isn't injured, supposedly. We'll get to the bottom of that anyway as the hours go on. He just confirmed it supposedly in the press conference. So there we go. So Ten Hag supposedly confirms that he isn't injured. I
mean, I didn't see the first half. Did he not?
Eric Ten Hag says we had to rotate.
We had to rotate? Oh,
rotate our best player. He's madman. Madness. We missed it. We needed him in that second half.
I mean, if that's the reason, I'm sorry. He's got to go. I mean, you can't rotate. I mean, how many games have we played so far?
That is his last game. Mark my words, that's his last game.
How many games have we played so far this season? 7? 10?
No, we played 6 in the league, sure.
6 and then 2.
I think we've played 10, have we?
And now we're worried about rotating after 10 games.
Yeah, D says it here. Look, he says, Eric's just confirmed Rashford's not injured in the interview. He just said we had to play Garnacho to rotate. Yeah, no. Now, I am officially Eric Ten Hag out. I'm officially Eric Ten Hag out. I have enough of him. That's absolute bullshit. That is absolute bullshit, to be honest with you.
I mean, you guys saw the first half. Did Diallo do anything?
Nothing. Absolutely
nothing. That explains why he didn't come out onto the bench. He was
Exactly. I said it, sure, didn't I? I said they're after falling out in the dressing room. Ten Hag is after whipping him off, and Rashford is after going, "You fucking cunt," or whatever he's. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what
I can't, and I gotta be honest. I gotta take Rashford's side on this. I can't.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I would.
100%.
He was absolutely brilliant.
After happening to Rashford so far this season, one of them was for. He didn't start because after he scored 3 goals in 2 games, and now he's getting whipped at halftime. You know what I mean? And look, we can criticize Rashford over last season and not playing well and all, but the guy is playing well this season. And we always say we'll criticize performances when they're not there, and we'll praise when they are there. And Rashford has got some decent praise this season, deservedly so, but he doesn't seem to be getting any from his manager.
No, and I got to be honest with from what I saw. I mean. Besides Casemiro, and I mean, he was pedestrian at best. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong or anything like that. But I didn't see Eriksen or Bruno do anything to deservedly to stay on. I mean, am I wrong in that?
Was Ugarte on the bench?
Yeah.
Why didn't he rotate him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rotate somebody else. Your best player is on the field, and you take him off at half time when their defenders are absolutely having panic attacks when he's on the ball. It makes absolutely no sense, Jack. That makes no sense. And look, we could go on and get into the really negative side of it, but let's be real here. He was our best player in the first half, and in the second half, he would have been our best player. So why take him off just because you want to rotate?
But the thing about it is, the thing about it is, like Ray says here, I thought Rashford didn't track back quite well. The fault is on the left side, is on the left back, not Rashford. And look, I understand what you're saying, and maybe he wasn't tracking back. But the point being here is that it was 2-2 at half-time. It wasn't 2-0 to United, which means we then have to go out in the second half and score goals to try and win the game. And he takes off the lad who has a goal and an assist, which is just criminal, in my opinion. It's just criminal. You know,
it is.
You know, and I know the manager is, you know, has to make decisions and so on and so forth. But when the man in the street, and I know, look, we're fans and we get very emotional, and, you know, manager has to stay level-headed and so on and so forth. But these weird decisions are just accumulating week after week after week after week.
I don't know whether in the first half, him not tracking back, and I'd be I'd be watching him as well. I seen him making a couple of 20-yard sprints to get over to their right midfielder or their right back. When we were coming back with them, like he didn't just stand there. Like it wasn't like it was so obvious where he normally goes and he's in the attack and then he loses the ball and he just stops. Like I didn't see any of that. Like tracking back, in what way was he bad at tracking back? Because I seen him doing loads of sprints backwards.
I mean, were the 2 goals that were scored? Was it because he didn't track back? I mean, was that? I mean, was he even? Could he even be at fault for either of those 2 goals? I didn't see him. So
no, I don't think so, because it was very slow build up by Porto on the right hand side. The first one was actually a cross into the box, and then the ball came back out, and a second ball was crossed in. You know, it was a deflection, and the rebound was tapped in. So that's nothing got to do with Rashford tracking back. And the second one across does come from the right-hand side. I'd have to watch it again to see where Rashford's positioning is on the pitch. But, I mean, when you're 2-2 at half-time away from home, you don't take off the player who looks most dangerous, who has scored a goal and set up another one. You know.
Well, the other thing is, at the beginning of the second half, I saw Diallo sprinting his ass back because the guy his midfielder, his winger, had the chance at the beginning of the second half because he didn't track back. Yeah. Like he was chasing that guy for 30 yards.
Our ball was to Rashford, and he looked like when anybody in the middle of the park, they were looking for him, Chris, in the first half. And when he got it, the defenders didn't know whether to tackle him or just try and track back. And then when he had them on the back foot, he was turning them inside out. So why would you take him off?
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I'm sorry, and I agree with Jack. I mean, at this point, if that's the reason, whether it's the tracking back or we had to rotate, I'm out. I'm sorry.
I think I'm finally there, to be honest with you. I think it's time to move on. Like Oshin says it there, I think he's spot on. He says Jim needs to call the brain trust in tonight and figure out the plan. 15 mil compo will prove to be a pittance if we can turn this about. Yeah, like and we still like we have to get top 4 supposedly this year for FFP as well. You know what I mean? We're going to be in big trouble. You know.
I mean, either top 4 or we got to win Europa at this point. I mean, that's the only thing. That's the only thing we. But my problem is like everybody wants to talk about rotation, but at what point you just brought all these players in at the end of the window? You have to play your starting 11 to get acclimated, and you got to play them together. You can't just be switching people in and out all the time because it's not working. Like, and you know this, Jack, Ben, Desi, is that if you're on the starting 11 and all of a sudden 3 new guys come on the next game, nobody plays the exact same. So
the 11 he picks at the start of the game can't play the system he wants to play.
100%. I agree with that.
Then bring on somebody else who the team that you've just put out, your strongest team can't do it, and then you're expecting these guys that don't really get a lot of time to come on and prove a point. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Right, lads. Right. We'll leave it there. We'll get it started an hour here. And I still have to go and do a match reaction video for TikTok as well. So, Jesus Christ, it never ends. Lads, look, I appreciate you coming on. Great live. Really enjoyed it, in fairness. Sorry if I didn't get to any of your comments. But, lads, yeah, look, I appreciate it. We'll do keep an eye out for Talking Points video tomorrow.
How many teams are in the Europa League this year?
36.
We sit 21st.
Yeah, we're 20. Yeah, we're 21st. We're 21st at the moment. We are.
For fuck's sake, Chris, will you let him go and do the video for TikTok?
Right. Look, thanks for coming on, boys, as always, and I chat to you.
It's early over here. I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's always sunny in fucking Philadelphia or wherever it is you are.
Florida.
Right.
It's 30 degrees out.
Yeah,
Celsius.
I have the radiator on beside me here, so I do. So
unbelievable.
Yeah. Anyway, lads, look, I appreciate it. We look, as always, we'll be back for the live on Sunday. Even though we might not want to be, but I'll see you then, I presume. All right.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Take care.
Catch you later.
Thanks everybody for watching as well, guys. Please do smash a like on the video if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm Ten Hag out now after them comments taking off Rashford and some of the weird decision that's going on. It's come to the end for me. It's come to the end for me. If he's not sacked, I'll still back him and I still want him to win games for Manchester United, but I think it's over. I think it's over. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Smash a like on the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll have the Talking Points video out tomorrow around lunchtime as well, so keep an eye out for that. We'll then have the match preview coming on Saturday and then the watch along on Sunday for Villa. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good rest of your night, tomorrow, whatever it is. Don't let it get you down too much. See you soon. Take it easy. Good luck.